Okay, if you don't understand EQ and the basics of EQ terminology, then your mixes are never going to sound good. The problem is new artists rely too much on the audio engineer and the producer to do everything for them. And I get it, it's all good. But the truth is, if you want to take part in crafting your own unique, unforgettable sound, then you're going to have to understand the basics. Let me show you what I mean. If you're able to understand some few key terms like signal, Hertz, EQ filter, and the Q, then your music is going to sound a lot better. Take a look at this example. I'm using a bell filter and I'm boosting the vocal presence, which is a bandwidth between 2000 and 3000 Hertz by 3 decibels. Okay, so who's this video for? This video is for new artists who want to learn more about EQ. My name is Sean. I'm an independent recording artist, and I'm also the sales engineer for digitalskypilot.com, which is an online platform where you could buy music accessories, you could sign up for courses to learn more about music production, and you could even upload your tracks to get them mastered. I'm going to talk more about that later, but for now, I want you guys to stick around to the end of this video because at the end, I'm going to give away a free guide. This guide is called Let's EQ Some Vocals. And what's cool about it, it has all the bandwidths that you need to get started. Okay, so if you guys are ready, I'm ready. Let's get into it.
Digital Sky Pilot, the best place to shop online.
Okay, we're back and we're talking about EQ. Now, honestly, when it comes to EQ, there's so much to talk about. I decided to break this video down into 4 key fundamental terms listed as topics, with topic number 1 being the signal, topic number 2 is Hertz, topic number 3 is EQ filters, and topic number 4 is the Q. After that, I'm going to talk about the big reveal from last week, and then we'll do a quick recap to make sure that we got it all down. And then finally, I'm going to give away that free guide that I had mentioned called Let's EQ Some Vocals. All right, let's get started with topic number 1, which is the signal. Now, when it comes to signal or signals, the best way to think about this is the signals are the music itself. So think about all the different instruments and all the different vocals isolated and separated onto tracks. Now, the most important thing to understand is that all signals travel a pathway from the source and eventually end up onto the track. Let me give you an example. Let's take a singer. So the singer is going to be a source. The first step on the pathway is going to be into the microphone. The second step on the pathway is going to be into the audio interface. And then finally, into the computer, down your DAW, down your vocal chain, and eventually onto the track. Okay, so the next question is, how do I get a good signal? I'm going to give you 3 rules. And if you follow these 3 rules, then you'll get a good signal every single time. Rule number 1 is make sure that you have good signal to noise ratio. Rule number 2 is make sure that you have good gain staging. And rule number 3 is make sure that you don't clip the signal on the way in or the way out. Now, when it comes to EQ, it's important to understand that you can't EQ a good signal, you can't EQ a bad signal into a good signal. So it's important that you get it right the first time. All right, if you guys like this video, please do me a favor, hit the like button, subscribe to the channel. Just by doing that goes a long way, and I appreciate you guys. Okay, let's talk about topic number 2, which is Hertz. Okay, Hertz are how the frequencies are measured. It's important to understand that the EQ range goes from low to high. The low frequencies are associated with bass sounds like the bass, and the high frequencies are associated with high frequency sounds like cymbals. Okay, so when it comes to Hertz and EQ, the most important thing to understand is Hertz is telling your computer, where do I want to place my EQ? Do I want to place it down at the low end, or do I want to place it at the high end? Now, if you're just getting started, you might slap an EQ filter on your track, and you might realize that as you adjust the filter, the Hertz changes automatically. So you might ask yourself, why do I need to learn Hertz? Because the truth is, if you understand Hertz, then you can listen to the performance and make specific adjustments. Like the example I gave earlier for vocal presence or nasal tones. If you understand Hertz, then you can focus on a specific bandwidth and dial in the adjustments that you need. All right, I remember when I first got started with mixing, I would simply boost everything because I wanted my music to sound loud. But don't do that, that's a mistake, trust me. It's not the time to sound loud. Your music is gonna sound loud when it's time to master. Mixing is all about creating space within the EQ range for all your vocals and the instruments to sit without the frequencies overlapping too much and competing with each other. Also, if you could leave a comment down below, let me know what's your favorite plugin for dynamic EQ, or if you don't know what dynamic EQ is, type send me and I'll send you some more information about that. All right, let's talk about topic number 3, which is EQ filters. The important thing to understand is that the shape creates the sound. So take a look at this example. This is a high pass filter, and it's basically allowing all the high frequencies to pass through while it's rolling off the bass and cutting out the bass. So the best way to learn this is to imagine the sound that you want and then select the appropriate filter that's going to get the job done. It's also important to understand that you can combine more than one filter. I also want to let you guys know that I do teach a full course on EQ. So if you want to sign up, you can sign up for free just by entering your email. And you can also book a recording session with myself or some of the cool, amazing engineers that I work with. Again, this is all done online at digitalskypilot.com. All right, let's talk about topic number 4, which is the Q. Now, the Q stands for quality factor, and what it basically does is it gives you more control over the shape of the filter. So, for example, if you take this bell filter and you want it to focus in on a specific bandwidth, you could do that by increasing the Q. And the more you increase the Q, the more sharp surgical cut you'll get, or boost if you're boosting. And the more you decrease the Q, the more it's gonna look like a bowl shape. This is great for focusing on specific bandwidths and making adjustments. So be sure to check that out. All right, let's talk about the big reveal from last week. The question is, what's your favorite plugin for delay? It looks like you guys are going with the Valhalla. I don't personally have it, but I have seen it in action and it's a really cool plugin, so shout out to them. Okay, let's do a quick recap to make sure that we got it all down. We said the 4 fundamentals of EQ are the signal, the Hertz, the EQ filters, and the Q. We said that the signal is the music itself and it travels a pathway, and I gave you some rules on how to get a good signal. And then we said Hertz is how the frequencies are measured, and you can use this to focus in on specific bandwidths and make adjustments according to the performance. And then we talked about EQ filters, and basically the shape of the filter is going to create the sound that you're trying to go for. And finally, we talked about the Q, which gives you more control over the shape of the filter itself. All right, now it's time to talk about that free guide I had mentioned at the beginning of the video. This guide is called Let's EQ Some Vocals. Take a look at the screen. You can take a screenshot of that, or if you go on the website, digitalskypilot.com, you can download this as a PDF along with some other cool resources to get you started. All right, thank you guys for watching. I hope I inspired some of you guys to go out and make some good music, and I'll see you in the next video.